I let my kid pick dinner tonight, and we had pasta. And ever since, my stomach's just been in knots. Like I just have to take the biggest shit. And we're going. Oh, okay. Welcome to the worst, Chad Austin. I for the first time, and probably the last time. I'm bringing Regan back. Regan was here. Regan was here for the third episode.
Yeah, with Ash.
With Meat Sweats McGee, and I didn't plan on bringing a repeat guest back already, but then this stupid son of a bitch in front of me hits me up and says, well, we've got to do it soon because I'm going to move to Ohio. And I'm just like, fucking Ohio? And I was like, and I'm never going to be the type that does a Zoom podcast, even though I've had multiple people hit me up like, hey, can I be on the show? And I'm like, yeah, for sure. When are you going to be in town? Oh, never. Yeah. Fuck you think? I'm not going to just sit here and talk to the fucking... Yeah. No, I want to talk to a human. That's why I do this. Like, I could talk to a human other than my wife and my kid and the assholes that sit at a bar. Which now they can do, by the way, even though Newsom's a piece of shit and we're not going back to 100% on the 15th as he's promised us before. Yeah. I do have 6 chairs at a bar, and I have been able to talk to a few people. Have you been able to talk to people at a bar, or you still just have tables?
I mean, in San Diego, I don't know who's been abiding by any of these rules. Like, I'm going to be perfectly honest. So, like, recently, the bar that I've been at, we've started to sit at the bar, and it's like a return, dude. Like, it felt, like, glorious. Like, like, being able to hear a human talk in front of me about their life, finally. I don't know, man. Like, it kind of reminds you, like, why you came back. Like, why, like, I came back to, like, the service industry. So, I think people are just going to continue to go. I think even with the Gavin Newsom thing happening, like, San Diego's already kind of said, fuck it, and just gone. You know, there's some places, like, Fernside that have kind of, like, mastered the COVID method, so they're not going to do it, but like other places, I think they've been doing it the whole time.
No, I mean, there's places in San Diego that are just wild as fuck. I haven't been down there in a couple months, but even when I was down there, which was like more in the heart of pandemic time, like there was fucking just people piling out of the door places and just, you know, like all these people on the sidewalk waiting to get in while the whole place was packed. Yeah. You know, Reagan, I do want to comment on something. Last time you were here, you looked like the saddest white supremacist and with your stupid little beanie. And but this time it almost looks like you've switched into black activism. I know where that hat's from. Yeah. That's it's a cool hat, but I feel like you're trying to flip it. The whole thing on the viewership, all the 3 people that watch this. Yeah. You know,
I feel like
you're a little bit of you're a little bit of chameleon right now.
Yeah, the woker you get, the thinner the frames, right?
I'm gonna keep them thick. But are those even real prescription lenses though?
Slightly, yeah. I actually got health insurance.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, so like,
shout out to health insurance.
The right eye is a little bit wonky.
Do you got that astigmatism? That's what I got in the left.
Yeah.
It's a bitch, dude. I really hate wearing glasses, especially like now with like masks and shit.
Yeah. Now I don't have to lie with that medical card though.
Oh.
That was a whole story.
We live in fucking California.
Yeah. I mean.
Oh, I guess. Well,
I'm going to Ohio.
You're going to Ohio. What's the legal? Is it just medically illegal in Ohio, or do you have to buy from somebody's house again? Or?
So people caught them early on where they were like, we're gonna go full with this, like fully legal, and then like subsection like 2 or 3, it was like, yeah, but like Philip Morris, all the tobacco guys were gonna get the contracts to grow legally, so they voted it down.
Oh, really?
So it's just medical right now.
Oh, okay.
So
well, at least there's that.
I mean, you'd figure all those people in like Appalachia, you know, they won't read like the they don't read the props going in, but they caught that one. So I'm actually pretty excited about it.
I've been talking a lot of shit about Ohio, but I don't even know, what do you do in Ohio? What I mean, I guess we haven't really been doing anything in California for the last year, but
fucking drink. That's like the big thing.
And drink.
Fucking drink, dude. Instead of fucking and dying like we were doing in Palm Springs.
Palm Springs, dude.
We're fucking and drinking in Ohio.
Not each other.
Yeah. Yeah, but like I'm excited to get back to like those people just I want like a slower life.
You have friends out there though, right?
So many, dude.
You
people that
have
actually
so many
yeah,
friends.
yeah.
You have. Oh,
I know
shit.
it's crazy, right?
Wow.
Yeah, I
Do they actually know you?
no,
I didn't think
I
so.
don't think
For you to have
anybody does.
so many friends.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. Well, we have a lot of shit to talk about. So I kind of want to just skip the fucking chit chat and get into some things. We'll start off with the news segment because we have one thing that you and I have been talking about discussing ever since it broke news in the bar world. So for anybody that doesn't know, there is what was it? What do you call it? A seminar, a festival?
I thought it was, yeah, it was more like a combination of the both, right?
Yeah,
Where
right.
It's like what Tails is kind of slowly becoming, where it's almost like a convention rather than like a festival.
Yeah, okay, convention. That's the best word for it, right? Okay, so there, Chicago had its own version of Tales of the Cocktail, but it was all ran by strong women, and and now the two of the top dog strong women are being fucking ousted. One of them, the strong, I think her name was Caitlin. Caitlin. She's being ousted for excluding people of color from the bar she worked at.
That's a Lost Lake.
Yeah, no, that's the other one.
Oh, okay.
That's I think she did Ace Hotel. I've met her once. I actually went to one of these conventions that they used to hold here in LA called Golden State Cocktails, and her, Yale, and a few other people did this seminar called "Be Quick, Don't Be a Dick." It was about like just being fast at a speed well, like being efficient, but not being an asshole to your guests.
I still need that training.
Yeah, I have found the harmony of being able to be an asshole and get away with it while still being quick.
Yeah.
So she wasn't very pleasant when I met her there. So I never really tried to keep any contact. Yeah. But then you find out that the wokest of the woke doesn't let people of color work at her bar. And it's just, and the reason we're bringing this all up is because it's also funny to me because when I just feel like when you're super, super woke and very like out about it, like, and you could believe in whatever you want, that's fine. But when you're like always like condemning others for the practices they use, and you need to have more women, and you need to have more this, and I know many bars that they didn't pick to not have any female bartenders. That was just it was a bunch of fucking dudes applied, you know.
Yeah.
And so she gets in trouble for this. And what I was saying is like the woke come after the woke. Like as soon as you've been preaching some bullshit and then somebody can find something against you on it, you're gonna get fucking hit real quick.
Yeah.
Which brings me to the other person, the other co-founder of Drink Chicago Style. Her name is Shelby. She was also the founder of a very famous bar in Chicago called Lost Lake, and she's being outed for basically, I'm just going to go with the way that it was worded, concealing the fact that her brother raped people. I mean, that's heavy.
That's tough.
That's a tough one to jump back from.
Yeah.
Like,
I think we also had that conversation where like the wokest of the woke kind of made themselves known early on in the pandemic, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Where it seemed like they were the most vocal, the most argumentative for sure. But it's kind of like a snake that drawing where a snake eating its own tail.
Yeah.
It seems kind of like that. I mean, like the cool thing with this, or like the world that we live in now, is like the girl that came out with it, right? And normally that would be like way tough because people, probably even like 4 or 5 years ago, would have been like, fuck you, dude. Like, are you talking about who? Nah, never. So like that's cool. The problem I see with that situation is like, I think we talked about this, where they're like clout lamprey. Yeah. That latch themselves onto a situation like that.
And so that's another. So next I want to get into something that I pulled up because I pulled up Drink Chicago Style's webpage. And I want to tell you all about the seminars and things that they've offered because it's really awesome in correlation to everything that's happened. Right. But I want to talk about that because I just think it's ridiculous. Okay, look at, if you over the past 3-4 years that this has been a thing, if you were asked to speak at a seminar, if you were asked to share your views with people about like something that you hold near and dear, and you can go up and you can talk for an hour, or whatever it may be. You hosted an event for them, you know, like you're a brand that they were like, okay, hey, I'm just gonna throw this one. Ford's Gin, I know they were a part of it.
Or
hey,
an influencer, right?
Yeah, or an influencer. Yeah, like hey, like, you know, we need your money to do this. Fine, dude, that's great. You do not. I repeat, you do fucking not need to issue an apology statement for being a part of this thing.
Yeah.
Unless you can come out and say, hey, I was a part of it. I was the one that told Caitlyn not to hire black people. I was the one that told fucking Shelby to keep her mouth shut about her brother raping people. Like, then, fuck yeah, dude, you have a problem. But just because you spoke at their fucking convention doesn't make you guilty. Because you don't know what, I mean, there are people in the industry within this city limits that are probably doing equally, if not more, shady shit. But I don't know about it.
Yeah.
And they could be friends of mine.
I think it goes both ways, right? Like, you don't need to issue the apology if you're a brand that works, because, like, you're not obviously not in the day-to-day with those owners or the board. I guess there's a board for that that event.
Yeah, I'm sure there is. I didn't really look that far
where
into
the
it.
other way, I also don't think you can condemn, right? Like, if the whole thing is a convention and you're bringing eyes to the event, I don't think that it's your job to write like a fake apology, write your name all over that fake apology and put it out on Instagram for like, right? That's like where the clout lamprey come in, where they take a really heroic person to come out and like speak against two people that are fairly fucking powerful.
Yeah.
You know?
No, at least well known and used to be well liked.
Yeah. I mean, it takes a lot of balls, and I've kind of been in the same situation, just as like, I just didn't word it as well as this person did. But it's a voyeuristic thing when these clout lampreys start writing their own fucking posts on Instagram because they want to be known as like a diversity consultant, or like whatever that title is that they're trying to create or trying to like carve out in this world. I think it's disingenuous.
I think it's very. I think
especially
it's just
when
like
you contributed to the success of those two people already.
Yeah.
Like I think it's very like the self-awareness factor like needs to come in.
And like Regan, if you were outed as a racist, I would just say, yeah, I know.
We're already there. We're two white men.
It's very, you know, it's just, there's some things that just, you know, it's an unspoken thing. We know it.
I mean, it's
you
for
just
voyeurs
move the fuck on and be like, hey, yeah, I didn't participate in any of his cross burnings, but I know the guy and we've had fun talking about other stupid shit.
Yeah. There's no need to be the intersectional PewDiePie, right?
No,
like the lightning rod for like voyeurs. It's a very strange thing that happened. But congrats to that girl, or not congrats, but
good for you.
Big ups to that chick for.
They don't have any of the seminars listed from 2019, but in 2018 they did a community accountability seminar.
Let's come together.
Oh,
everybody.
Shit. Let's see. There's another one, causing a stir, empowering underserved and underrepresented communities within hospitality. It's so funny because it's just, you know. Yeah. And then the other one's sustainability behind the bar, which is just something everyone's been jerking off for the last fucking 4 years. Okay, and then what else do we have? Oh, there's there's like the introduction written by the board, and it was just like, welcome, Chicago-style friends. This is a gathering intended to spark conversations and connections and encourage growth, change, and jumpstart progressive and productive solutions. And it goes on to nurture our community and blah, blah, blah. But it's such bullshit. Yeah. I love when people talk out of their ass.
Literally running a a community-oriented program and not taking advantage of like the labor market is so crazy to me. Like you telling me not one black person wants to be like a craft person in Chicago?
No, yeah, I mean,
like that's crazy.
Your swanky ass hotel didn't want a single one.
Yeah.
Please tell me more.
Yeah.
Okay, so I wanted to touch on that first because you and I had just been like basically laughing about that in private for the last week or so.
Yeah.
And okay, so the next one for the worst news is so there is a private school, Columbia Prep. This is where Barron Trump went.
Hell yeah, dog.
So very high end, like New York.
Like the 56th president of the United States.
DC or some shit like that. Columbia Prep. Yeah. So it's like $47,000 a year to go to this school.
Mm-hmm.
So for their 16 and 17-year-old students, they just did a class on porn literacy.
Fuck yeah, dude.
And it was a Zoom class.
For kids?
For 16 and 17-year-olds.
Porn literacy for kids.
So it was a Zoom class, and the only reason that it became like news is because obviously all these parents started freaking out because they just hear coming from their kid's computer. And I kid you not, like
the Pornhub intro music.
They had a lady, Justine Ang Fonte, who's the director of health and wellness at the elite prep school. She started talking. Fonte's presentation, some of which is seen by the Post, included a list of most searched pornographic terms of 2019, including cream pie, anal, gangbang, stepmom, and more. So she is talking to 16 and 17-year-old boys and girls
cream pies.
about being literate in their. I'm basically just like teaching them how to search for their porn. Like, find your kink, young one.
This is such a Vice thing, right? Like Vice News would run.
But
something
it's
like
the
this.
New York Times that I'm reading it from. It's
I
fucking
know.
wild, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's amazing to me because just last week when I was doing this, I was talking to Joe Brook about how there was another New York prep school for small children, first graders, and they taught the kids about masturbation. Did you read this? Did you read this?
No.
Holy fucking shit, I have to talk about this again?
No, if you Google that in a computer, the FBI comes to you. like that is never going to show up on my computer screen.
Oh, dude, I didn't even think about that. Fuck, dude. I wrote in first grade masturbation on my computer.
You were on a list.
Shit. So, okay, let me just give you a quick, because I already mulled over this for like 10 minutes with Joe, but let me just give you a quick little introduction. Not only, like, they talked about to these first grade students without their parents' permission about masturbation, and they made a cartoon video. They made an animated video to tell these kids, and it was like, to give you like a little tidbit, it was like a little kid on the screen, like cartoon kid, and it's like, I think it's weird when my pee-pee gets big. What is that all about?
In first grade?
Yeah. This is shown to first graders, and animated and voiceover and all that shit. And then there's like an adult, a teacher that comes on screen. Now we should talk about how that these are very important parts of our body, and your pee-pee, while that might be fun to say, is actually called a penis. And little Debbie's private parts is actually called a vulva. And I mean, it goes into like a full thing. And then, I mean, she talks about, well, sometimes when I sit on the edge of my bed and rock back and forth, I get a funny feeling in my vulva. What is that? And I kid you not, it's like a 3-4 minute video that you could search if you want.
Really gross.
I don't suggest you do. Yeah. But yeah, it's basically just all about teaching first graders about masturbation. Now, I think that's fucking wild because, as I said to Joe, when I was in first grade, I don't remember even thinking once about touching my dick, and I don't even remember if that it was that young that I started getting like morning wood. Yeah. I don't think it was that young. How about yourself? You popping boners at age 6?
Dude, like first grade was like show and tell. Like you pick out like the coolest stuffed animal you got. Like you got the G.I. Joe.
I brought in
Like,
the Ninja Turtles,
yeah.
motherfucker. Like that
Like,
was my shit.
I feel like if you're gonna teach
Wolverine
masturbation to
ring.
the first graders, you should just be able to drink wine in 5th grade at lunch.
You know,
what I mean? It's
let's,
like,
let's
it's
have a
just-
let's
just
have a
go-
glass of
just-
red and
yeah,
a
just-
cigarette after
yeah.
getting blown by
We
the
just
fucking
go
science teacher.
Full-blown, we just go full-blown French, and you just start drinking when you're 11, 12 years old, dude. That's fucking gross.
So
That's pretty fucking nasty.
no,
and
it's-
I definitely
it's-
don't want like my 10-year-old kid talking about like throat pies to me. You know?
Okay,
like,
so the okay, now we're mashing two different ones, but
these kids were in high school.
yeah, this one is
Yeah.
16 and 17-year-olds.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm okay, so this one doesn't bother me that much. Like I think it's weird that they chose to do this without telling the parents. And yeah, I know, right? And I don't know. I just think back on like my health class when we did sex ed, and I don't know about you, but I definitely just saw somebody put a fucking condom on a banana, and then I had to repeat it, and then watched a fucking 2-minute video with really fucking weird animation about like sperm entering the vagina, and you know.
My memory is a 65-year-old man who had probably spent most of like the 60s and 70s in Vietnam. Very clean cut, very matter of fact. Try to teach like eighth graders like how to put on a condom, and you could just see him just like gears turning. I can't fucking do this. Like, we're gonna.
He's having
football.
PTSD
Yeah.
the whole time. He's putting the condom on the banana. He looks down, the banana's yellow, and he's like, "Ah, Charlie!" And he just fucking runs out of the room screaming. Wakes up with just night sweats and terrors, and oh god damn it, dude!
Apocalypse Now.
Apocalypse Now shit. He sleeps with a gun underneath his pillow because of the fucking bananas. Oh my god, dude! Yeah. But now they're getting taught by a female teacher who is. It says it was for 120 boys and girls, so it was like all hands on deck. Like the whole grade had to come to this seminar. And it's like the lesson included how porn takes care of 3 big male vulnerabilities, statistics on the orgasm gap, showing straight women have far fewer orgasms with their partners than gay men or women. Well, I mean, okay, for that, all I have to say is the kids just need time.
Yeah.
To just handle it themselves and realize that if you're a straight man, you're just gonna be a fucking disappointment. like
You're never gonna get it there.
Like orgasm through penetration may happen with 1 of 5, and the rest are faking it.
Yeah.
And I'm not just speaking for myself.
Yeah.
Or I am.
I mean, even the kids in those grades, you just ram it in there, right?
There's
like
no finesse. There's no finesse. You're just happy to see a pussy.
Yeah.
Like
you think about it all day. It's 16.
like you've studied it via Well, in my day it was via magazines. Now it's porn on your phone.
You fucking
You can just have it right there in your hand.
Yeah.
And then you study it. You know what it looks like, so you're not surprised by it when you see it for the first time.
Yeah. You're desensitized already. The reason why there's no coming is because you have only half a boner. You're just mushing it in there. You've already seen Gianna Michaels do her thing about 100 hours.
That
every
may be
week,
you, sir,
dude.
but I swear to God, the first time I had sex, it was one of those things where it was implied, and as soon as it was implied, I was hard as a fucking rock, and I was ready to go. I was like, "We're doing sex?
Yeah.
let's fuck right here, or are we going?" I can do it right here.
Yeah, you just dragged him upstairs like Hagrid does his club, dude.
Flintstones. Well, no, dude, but it's yeah. So and then it was like fucking, I came in 2 seconds. I mean, maybe 5 if I'm being generous, and then I pretended like I didn't, and then I just fucked her until I went completely soft.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I've done that still to this day.
Yeah. I mean, I used, I think, in high school, someone gave me one of those condoms that numbed your dick. Except
now they have like wipes and shit for that.
Yeah, so like all I did was ask if it was in. like looking at
like,
it, like is it in? Like,
you first start having sex, you can't even feel anything. You're just
like,
like, I don't know what
it's
all
in,
that fuss
right?
is
Like-
about, man. This is, I mean, they say warm. They say, I mean, I didn't feel anything. It was a little
Sex
bit of
thing
a
is
workout.
fucking overrated, dude. Like you can't even fucking feel it going in. It's brutal.
I remember the first time I ever got a blowjob. Dude, okay, so she went down for the first time, and then she came back up to, like, flip her hair back, and as soon as, like I'm seriously, like, one down and then back up, and then she fully took her mouth, and then just right into her eye. I mean, I was just like, I'm sorry.
I had all of that happen in one night.
And the thing is like I, as a young man, I was like, I'm sorry, but now as an older man, I'm just like, dude, she's happy that she got done with it that fast. Like, who really wants a dick in their mouth? I mean, I know there's some freak ass hosts that really like it, but I think most girls are just
Men.
like I'm gonna please, I'm gonna play.
Gay men.
Okay, okay, you got me there.
But yeah, dude, like I think that's what the hardest thing about high school wasn't even like the sex ed class. It was like what goes on after school, like getting that in. Like I felt like a completely different person afterwards. Like I don't know about you, but like I felt like that load. I felt that load.
Pun intended.
Yeah.
Nice.
Lift. So
No, yeah, no, yeah, it was like
to get back to your earlier point.
No, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that is just gonna put more pressure on when you see like a grown person.
Oh yeah.
Talk about like what porn you should watch.
And
like,
what was this teacher hot? like, could you imagine though, for a 16-year-old boy, if there is a hot woman on the screen talking about cream pies and anal and stepmoms, and then it's like it's a $47,000 a year school, so it's some fucking rich kid, and you know he doesn't have his real mom around because his dad's been banging every fucking secretary around, and so he's just been around all these stepmoms that are not really even his stepmoms because his dad never married him because he didn't want to sign a prenup, and then he's just like, I could fuck my dad's girlfriend. And I mean, the possibilities are endless. So they're just putting this, like, I mean, it's like a rage of hormones just rushing. I mean, every
talking about right now.
Yeah, dude, I know. I'm getting really excited. No, man, but it's a wild fucking thing. Like, I'm not mad about it. Like 16, 17-year-old kids, they probably already know half of this shit. They spend if they don't have, especially during the pandemic, they weren't allowed to go out and hang out with their friends. What the fuck do you think they were doing in their room?
There's a lot of hyperpigmentation on people's genitals. Just constant rubbing, dude. There'll be a lot of porn with like weird colored dicks coming out in the next 10 years.
It was like if anything, Justine Fonte taught them about fucking lubricants because the kids were just chafing their fucking dicks off. Oh God, poor little bastards. But also, it was 120 slides that she went through. 120 slides. I want to know how long this seminar was.
How much research,
right? Like, and she
Terabytes.
did this. She did this research. Like, she was just like, you know what? I'm gonna be the one. One slide cited various porn genres such as incest-themed, consensual, or vanilla, barely legal, kink, and BDSM, which included waterboard, electro, torture porn, as an example. So now that I'm reading a little bit further into this, because I actually saved this article to get here. I didn't even fully go into it. I just saw a headline and I was like, ooh. And it's also the same noise I make when somebody touches my tummy. But yeah, so now I'm getting further into it. And yeah, maybe this bitch is a little crazy. Sorry for calling you bitch. But maybe she is a little crazy because, I mean, now you're teaching these kids about torture porn.
Yeah.
I mean, me as a 34-year-old man, like, I have barely dabbled into that. Like, it's not my thing.
Yeah. It's very uncomfortable.
It is.
Yeah.
I remember I went over, I think my biggest exposure to torture porn was I went over to my friend's house when we were like 20 and we were doing a lot of cocaine. And yeah. And I know my story started with the cocaine a lot.
It was only one fingertip.
We were doing a lot of cocaine, and we were sitting in his room, and he goes, "Hey, man, you want to see something really fucked up?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And then he showed me, I don't know, have you seen the BME Pain Olympics?
No.
Don't look it up.
Yeah,
but there's a guy that takes a meat cleaver and puts his dick on a table and then long ways cuts it right down the center. Like, he splits his dick right in half. And I saw that on video. And I realized right then and there that there are people that actually get off to that. And I didn't, and then I looked at my friend very differently because he had it saved on his computer and ready to go.
The internet was supposed to make us all smarter.
That's not what happened.
No.
That's not what happened at all.
Like, this is like a very, like, just to even picture something like that is fucking uncomfortable. But, like, teaching a 16-year-old kid that you could tie a chick up, like, maybe your girl Yale could do something like that, but, like, to, like, 20-year-old dudes, but, like, taking a 16-year-old and being like, hey, like, this is how you tie, like, a pretty tight knot on some rope. It gets kind of weird pretty quickly. Right,
it's
like
it's
that next kickback
is what we call a gray area.
Yeah, that next kickback is gonna be fucking weird.
Dude, I shout out to this woman because you're a brave fucking soul. Because maybe I don't know if that was a fucking pasta burp and it was terrible. I don't know if these kids are like fully just in Zoom school still or if they're ever going back, but when she has to look these 16, 17-year-old boys in the eyes after teaching this shit.
Right in the boners.
Just to look them in the boners. I mean, dude, God bless her soul. Because these, man, I just think about when I was a fucking horny 16-year-old kid, and if I had some fucking, I remember when I was 16, there was a rumor that went around, and just my social studies class, I don't know how it just ended there, but that I got my dick pierced, and I had a substitute teacher give me a very strange look, and I was fully into it. And I thought that I was like, oh, hey, I'm going to fuck this 35-year-old lady. Never happened. I think she was just looking at me like, hey, you're a fucking liar. Yeah. And I was like, which I am, and it's fine.
I do
but
lie a lot,
yeah, I lie a lot.
Yeah, I'm 16. I tell girls that I have a car.
And a dick piercing. No one wanted to touch this thing. All right, so the next piece of news that I have is there's an OnlyFans model running for office, and she's offering free breast implants if she wins to all the women's. Free titties.
Right.
How do you feel about this?
It sounds a lot like Joe Biden telling us that we're going to get $50,000 back on our school loans. Honestly, like in this state, dude, I just learned that Riley Reid bought like a $4 million house in Pasadena.
I don't know porn stars' names. I'm just guessing that's a porn star.
Yeah.
Sorry.
A very famous one.
Yeah.
So like it is what it is. Like with these California people, like they're the people that run now. Have you watched the San Francisco public comments where they let people just come in and talk to like the city council?
No, but I bet that's fucking hilarious, especially in San Francisco.
Yes. So that's like anybody can run. You know what I mean? Like,
that's true. Anybody can.
Anybody can run. So like,
there's like very minimal qualifications, right? Like,
yeah.
I mean, like the extremely minimal.
Yeah.
Like,
we're gonna start turning ocean water into regular
water.
Like
you need to have a GED.
Yeah. I know. Like it's crazy that there's only like an age limit, right? Like there isn't even like you don't even have to be qualified. Like Kindred just put a bartender ad out, and you have to have 3 years minimum to like bartend at Kindred.
But hey, dude, run for office in California. I mean,
Schwarzenegger. Dude.
I was just about to say, I missed the day of Arnie, man. You know, Arnie wasn't so bad when you look at how shit's going
just
today.
Kick that door in, dude. Now every celebrity wants to go.
You know, I mean, if he was still around, we would just be getting to the chopper. And, I mean, life would be
Gyms
fine.
would still be open.
Gyms would definitely stay open the entire time.
D-ball for sale everywhere. GNC.
I've been thinking about getting into steroids. All right,
helps
so
with the low T.
Yeah, well, I mean, you just got to claim that you have. Do they test you for it? I think they test you for it. Yeah, I don't think I have that problem yet. But you know, the rapid hair loss and all the other shit, it's possible.
Yeah.
All right, so I want to get into your worsts because we did this with you and Regan, but it was kind of like
Ash, yeah, me and Ash.
Sorry, you are Regan. Fuck. All right, so What would you say is the worst job you ever had?
I was a cashier at Kmart.
You
It
were?
was my first job.
Nice.
And it was in the hood in Toledo, Ohio. And I was working one day, and somebody with a hick, a very, very country hick person came in with a EBT card. And the weird thing about Ohio is that when you slid that EBT card at the time, I could see the balance on your card.
Oh, shit.
So like the third day I was in, I slid the EBT card. This guy had $11 worth of groceries. It said like $2 and something cents, and I was like, "Listen, like you're $9 off." And the guy literally looks me straight in the face and goes, "Yeah, you can put the hot dog buns back."
Your hot dog buns are $9. He kept the natty lights.
Yeah, all the important shit. I don't need bread. I've been cutting it out anyways. You know, like one of those like, okay.
So, you know, it's
What
carbs,
else?
man. So listen to Joe Rogan fucking eating help me.
The white
Son of
bread
a bitch.
is processed flour, dude. Can't be putting that on my dogs. Keep the dogs as they are.
Jesus Christ. My first job, I was 13 and I worked at a gas station, and I literally pumped gas under the table for tips. Like they were like
Just gas. You weren't doing anything else.
I was pumping gas and ass full. No, dude, but it was weird that I was just in there buying fucking candy one day. You know, and I got to keep up this girlish figure. And I was in there buying candy one day, and they were like, and the guy was just like, "Hey, you want a job?" I was like, "I'm 13 years old." He's all, "Yeah, I'm not gonna pay you."
No.
He's all, "I'm just gonna give you a shirt, and you're gonna go pump people's gas, and if they tip you, you make money." And I was like, "Oh, well, all right, fuck it, let's do this."
Yeah.
So third day working, this fucking old school Jaguar pulls up. And let me, before I get into this part of it with this fucking rich asshole, let me just tell you that up until then, there could be the poorest son of a bitch in the most beater-ass car that pulls into full service and still manage to give me like a 50-cent tip. Just because he appreciated what I was doing for him.
That sounds like every bar.
Yeah. This piece of shit. And it just goes to show you why the rich have money, because they don't fucking give it to anybody. This piece of shit pulls up. And he had the gas tank that's like in the back, like underneath the license plate. So I put the nozzle in, and I'm pumping his gas, and he goes, "Oh no," and mind you, the gas was already pumping, and he goes, "Oh no," he's all, "You have to twist it this way a little bit, or else it doesn't actually go into the tank." I'm like, "Okay, well, I don't know anything. I'm a 13-year-old kid." Twist it. And as soon as I twist it, it fucking sprays all over me, and he just starts laughing. And so, you know, he did it just to do that to me. Like, he's done that before, and he was like, "I know this trick, and I know I can get this fat little kid to do it."
This old man, just like, "You want to be covered in gasoline?"
I do. And he's laughing his ass off. And so the shirt that they gave me, I just took it off and I threw it on the ground, and I walked a half a block over to the bus stop, and I just sat there and waited for the bus to go home. And I was so fucking mad.
Yeah.
I was so pissed. Okay, really quick before we get back into your worst, I do want to talk about one more thing. Did you watch because I know neither one of us is stupid enough to pay $50 for it, but did you watch the highlights of the Logan Paul Mayweather fight?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, talk about a retard circus, dude.
Dude.
I mean,
What the fuck?
His brother literally was like, Logan won that fight. Like, oh, really? Like there's not a person on earth, and that's like the world that we live in now, where you could just say things, and because you have a following, people just agree with you. And he has 15, 16 million people behind him. So now that's in everybody's mind that like, oh, there's like actually doubt on that fight. Like he kind of like gave it to him.
Well, see, and here's the thing: is nobody won that fight. It was an exhibition. There wasn't even a fucking. There wasn't even people keeping
no
score.
Judges. Yeah.
There was no judges.
Yeah.
But the thing is like, I'll give the kid props for standing up for 8 rounds. But you watch the fight, and they were hugging. I'd say a good 90% of it.
Yeah. So because I've fallen in love with boxing over the course of my entire life.
Yeah,
like that is
boxing's
what the
fucking
bigger
fantastic.
guy. That's what the bigger guy is always going to do. I'm going to lean on you until you get tired so then I can actually piece you up. The problem is you're boxing against the defensive god that is Floyd Mayweather.
Dude,
it's just not going to
that fucking shoulder roll that Floyd has mastered.
I mean, just even the counter punches. It was Logan. Logan was so slow. It was just counter punching the entire time. Just hitting him with the right and just kind of back away.
Did you hear the conspiracy? Because there's always one. Because people will watch anything, and then spend the next 12 hours dissecting it, and then come up with some. So the conspiracy is, I think it was in the end of the 5th round. They think that
time traveler.
They think that Floyd actually knocked him out and held him up, so they could finish the fight. Because it's seriously like 10 seconds left in the round, and Floyd connects with a right and then a quick left, and he is literally hugging, he's literally hugging Logan
him by the waist.
He's literally hugging Logan, and it looks like he's like supporting his weight almost, and then Logan just kind of shakes it off and then like backs up into his corner because the bell rings. But he
would know. It's happened.
Dude,
Floyd almost got knocked out. I think it was Maidana.
Yeah.
Where it's like right at the end, like as the bell was sounding. So like he would know if somebody was.
I just think that like, if anything, if that really did happen, just props to Mayweather for being a fucking smart businessman. Like, just keep the entertainment going.
Yeah. Like he already got his money though.
Yeah, I know, but still, like,
there's a lot of people that thought
he made fucking bags upon bags, and he's over the hill. He's not going to take any more real fights. He's just going to do this for money. So might as well. I think he just knows that as an entertainer, because he is one, that he's like, I'm just going to make sure these people get a show at least.
I heard that he had placed a bet on him knocking him out in the 4th, which is why he was like throwing mad hands in the 4th.
Yeah,
I never watched it. I don't like boxing is weird in and of itself, like the whole none of the big names fight each other really anymore. Rarely nowadays.
It doesn't really happen.
So like who knows, dude? But like Floyd is a product of that generation where like nobody really fights anybody. You get together at the very end to say that you did fight somebody. So it's weird that he went 8 rounds. It is weird.
No, yeah. I mean,
which kind of like I think Occam's razor tells us that he just mailed in the fight, took the paycheck, and just bounced.
Absolutely, and I'm fine with that. Like, like everybody's stupid for paying $50 thinking they were going to actually see somebody really get hit hard.
There was people at the bar that were on their phone watching that.
Like they paid the money and they just watched it on their tiny screen. $50
to watch a phone fight.
That's just wild to me. Like. Now, what I am interested in though is the Woodley, Jake Paul fight, because it's just like.
Did you realize that Tyron Woodley was that short?
No, not at all, dude. I had no idea, and then I was like, "Oh, you're a little guy."
Yeah.
But like that's a dude that actually like has boxing experience. And he can throw hands. And
quite a bit, yeah.
You're like we've seen Jake can hit hard. But let's just see how he does against somebody that actually does stand up and fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it was funny what he did to Ben Askren. It was really funny what he did to Ben Askren.
Ben Askren came in looking like 13-year-old you pumping gas.
Oh, bro. I mean, that was like seriously, he looked like he just walked out of his bedroom after whacking it from hearing a teacher talk about sex for the last 2 hours on a Zoom meeting. Like,
pull the sweatpants all the way up, tuck the dick straight up.
He just got a straight buck knuckle walking out. Just like, Dad, did you make dinner? I'm hungry. I'm so hungry. But yeah, dude, I'm excited to see that fight, but I just that Floyd Mayweather thing was just too fucking ridiculous to not at least speak about it for a minute. All right, worst relationship you were ever in?
The last one. Yeah, the last one.
What happened,
dude? When you live with a drunk and you're paying all the bills and they hate your success and they tell you about it when they're drunk.
Oh, sick. It was one of those like angry drunk. It's just like, you'll fucking never done it.
It was just someone that ran themselves into a corner, right? Like, it was a very destructive relationship. It took me 14 months and a lot of psychedelics to get past.
Oh, fuck, dude. I meant to take shrooms tonight before this.
I was going to do this. Yeah.
God damn it.
I had to drive.
Yeah, I know.
But, yeah, it was going to be one of those relationships where, like, I was just going to, like, pick my stuff up and just leave. It was funny. Like, funny. We talked
You were
about,
going to be the end of a Mary J. Blige song?
Oh, yeah.
Sick.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird, dude. Like when you are a man that's in a bathroom holding your hands up while they're like hitting you and scratching you, like, oh, I'm going to jail.
Yeah,
Like,
because
I mean,
it's
no matter what I do at this point, like we've devolved into this situation.
you're about ready to
like,
punch a bitch.
that never came. Like it was always like in that situation now. Like your mindset is like, all right, like I got to get things in order because I'm going to jail, and I'm never working again, and like maybe like I should have just stayed in human resources, and like all the stuff comes back to you, like all the self-doubt.
What does dick
like,
taste like?
yeah.
And am I gonna like it?
Yeah, why haven't I ate an ass yet? You know,
How salty is
yeah.
it? Oh
But
shit!
yeah, like it was dating a drunk is like dating a toddler, dude. Like I have to pick you up off the ground. I have to make you food. I have to walk the dogs. I have to do everything. Meanwhile, this person is like sleeping.
Did you spoon feed her mac and cheese? Tell me the truth.
No, she made sure to stay on her phone and order pho like 6 times a day and make me pay rent and the electricity bill. And yeah, it was, dude, that was the worst thing ever. It was like the worst and the best, right? Like I would have never, now that I'm like where I'm at now, like actually successful, and like I worked really fucking hard to get out of that situation, and like I worked super fucking hard, dude. Like
so successful, you're moving to Ohio.
Yeah. I'm eating so much shit with a lot of people, but like I'm taking the whole Midwest now.
No, I know you are. I'm just
so like going through something like that like rearranged my priorities, and also the fact that like a person like that ends up at like one of the most quality bars in America, you know what I mean, like means that anybody can do this.
Oh no,
literally anybody.
I've always said that people that make bartending, they try to make it look like it's the fucking it's science.
Yeah,
a trained ape can do our job.
I mean, you trained me.
And exactly.
Yeah, like I'm a fucking retard.
Yeah,
like I'm not good. Like
dude,
I'm still not good.
It was Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah.
And somehow we both ended up doing pretty well. So,
yeah.
I mean, it doesn't take much. You just read a fucking book, focus while you're doing it, and you're fine.
Yeah. As long as you take it like seriously professionally and not yourself seriously, like bartending is pretty easy.
But the thing
Being
is
good,
most people take themselves seriously.
Right. Yeah, and but that's also like the Chicago style thing where people in that little circle now, like it used to be with me, like, oh, I'm gonna be bartender in residence, like I'm gonna be all these things by like 40. Like I'm gonna have my own bar, like I'm gonna be like nationally known, and like I'm gonna win all these competitions, and like that. I think the worst thing for me too was like being successful during that relationship, where like I couldn't even enjoy that.
Yeah.
I couldn't even enjoy like winning best in like Southern California for Mount Gay, going to Barbados, like performing nationally. Gay. Mount Double Gay.
No, yeah, dude.
So bartending is this industry is strange, and it produces strange people. And I think just dating a bartender was like a really big mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'll be honest, there was times when like I started to get kind of big in like bartending in the tiki world, and not so much the tiki world because I didn't care about the fame of the tiki world because it's mostly just fat chicks.
It cucks.
But
I don't
like,
know how many people fucking tried to get me to fuck their wife at boot.
Dude, so many. It's insane how many people are just like, so we got this hotel down the street. I mean, we're gonna be in town for a few days, but if you just want to come back and have a mojito,
we're having a room party.
Yeah. Oh, the room party's
the room
the best.
party. Yeah.
Really? Because you just said you don't know anybody in this town. You're having a room party?
You just walk in and it's this fat wife with her ass cracked off. like, dude, like this. It's the tiki world is like the best world, and also the dumbest. Also, like the most ridiculous and most over the top.
No, I mean, the best thing though about like the fat white chicks in the tiki world is like most of them try to dress as like pinup girls, so it's just like they all do like the fucking Betty Page hair and like, or they have just like those really short stupid bangs, and God, I'm gonna make so many enemies with this one.
Black hair, bleached bangs.
Oh, there's so many people in that world that listen to this. Buy my book.
Buy my product.
Okay, so anyways, what's the worst thing about San Diego? And I know that the open racism doesn't bother you. So what about San Diego? What about San Diego fucking just bothers the fuck out of you?
I think it's the fact that like the whole population there is for like the cocaine and tacos. Like it's just there. It's like there to party, which sounds really dope. But like you're also paying like LA prices now to like
for cocaine or tacos
for like rent,
and
then paying, and then on top of that like doing the cocaine and tacos, and like it's one of those places like I love everything about San Diego. It's easy to get around still. The homelessness is getting kind of crazy, but there's a lot of people there that are kind of just like transient. Like I'm here for like a few years, I'm coming out, and me included, obviously.
Yeah.
But it makes it really hard to establish like relationships, whether it be friendship or not.
Yeah.
And it's already hard enough to get in there. Like it's a close circle down there, or at least it feels like. Like that could only be me, and that's like probably the psychedelics talking. Like it's probably in my head that it's a close circle, but that's the way that it feels down there because it's still a small town mentality.
A close circle, or just nobody liked you?
It's probably. I keep telling myself nobody likes me.
Yeah,
I'm like pretty honest.
I've been telling
that.
you that too.
Yeah. I mean, dating the girl, my ex, probably didn't help me at all.
Yeah, the Keebler elf. I'm just fucking going for it tonight, dude. I'm just like maybe I should just start podcasting at night because I feel a little bit more loose and a little bit more wild.
Yeah.
And
we need to drink that rum that I came up with.
No, I promised my wife I'd buy her weed on the way home, and I got to get to a clinic before they close.
Okay.
I was just like, I know because normally I won't do my thing with her is I won't do a podcast on a day off because it's time with her and Josie. But then I find out that this fucking place is closed for basically the entire week and screws my entire plans.
That was you guys, right?
It's all their fucking fault. So much of their fault. So now I'm here on a Monday night with your fucking stupid ass. But hey, I just told her, I was like, hey, the dipshit's moving to Ohio. Mm-hmm. Like, he's kind of my friend. Like, have pity on me. I was like, don't get mad at me for doing a podcast on Monday.
Honestly, like for a long time, I was like, I'm never gonna make friends with you. And then I realized that like there's people that you're very nice to, that you like, I can tell where it's like, man, this is like tough. And then there's people that you like shit on like Ash, where it's like, you stupid idiot, like you're almost dead, like the meat sweats thing, and it's like, all right, like I get it now. So I appreciate that. I'm going to take that as a very huge
absolutely.
compliment.
If I'm nice to you, I don't fucking like you. I'm dead fucking serious. If I'm overly nice to you, I am just trying to make it as pleasant as possible in the short time that I am around you, so you can get the fuck out of my face and I can move on with my life and hopefully not see you again for another 6 months or so, or until you come back and try to sell me your bullshit liqueur.
Flicker bean.
But, but yeah, dude. So, okay, wait, next one. Did you grow up in Ohio?
So I grew up in Chula Vista. I lived in Palm Springs. So this is like part of like the whole thing.
Okay,
like,
so
like
formative years, like 1 through 10.
San Diego.
Really?
And then my dad, tore his Achilles, was like basically like a casualty of like the Purdue like misinformation campaign. So just like eating opioids.
That was me too.
Yeah,
that was so much fun.
I mean, I could see why. Like I ate a Percocet once and put my hand through an entire beer can, just like while I was talking to somebody, didn't feel
it.
a thing.
Didn't feel a fucking thing. It's so glorious.
Yeah.
You know, and back then, like when Purdue was really popping, those OxyContins were insane because they didn't. You could actually, the time.
They weren't even time release.
The time
right?
release was just a coating on the outside,
Yeah.
so you just had to suck on them for a second. Yeah, and then the time release goes away, and then you get 80 milligrams of the best feeling ever.
Yeah,
and you know all those feelings of my dad doesn't love me, and all whatever else may be, I might be gay. All that stuff, it just goes away, and you're just happy.
Usually that was when my room got raided. My dad would steal my things.
Yeah.
But so I grew up there. I moved to Palm Springs as I walked in basically on the overdose, like the final one before he went into rehab, and lived in Palm Springs, and then lived in Ohio for like eight years and change, probably closer to 10 actually, now that I think about it.
Yeah, well, see, the next one was going to be worst thing about where you grew up, but if you grew up in San Diego, we already talked about the worst thing about San Diego.
I grew up is definitely my dad.
No, worst thing about where you grew up was your dad.
My childhood was terrible.
So it doesn't have to be a place; it can actually be a person.
Yeah.
You're the first person to answer it that way, and I respect it.
Yeah, is definitely like when you grow up with an addict, dude. Like I'm literally walking in, like trying to like, maybe I have to fist fight him. Maybe he's got my computer. Like maybe, like dude. So this is a really great story. So this one time I walk into my house, and my dad is sitting on the couch, and it's just like normal. Everything's like the house is a mess because it's a teenage kid and a full blown drug addict. And I go upstairs, and my room is torn to shit. Bed thrown up and over. All the clothes out of my closet onto the floor. My computer is like face down. Luckily, like the tower was still there. He probably figured I was watching so much porn you can't even fucking offload that anyways. But and I run downstairs and I'm like, Dad, we got robbed. We got robbed, dude. Like we need to call the police. And my dad goes, yeah, I thought something was wrong. I thought we were there are things missing here. I'm gonna call the cops right now. Walks outside. 3 minutes later, comes back. He's like, like the cops said they can't do anything.
So I just really need to interrupt you for a second because there's a guy with a goddamn Ghostbusters pack on outside vacuuming, and I'm like, what the fuck? Oh, but also, I really need to point out before this ends, and it's going to end very soon. I also need to point out the fact that when we were downstairs, and I need to tell you guys this too, when we were downstairs, I looked like a fucking idiot walking into the door of this place. So there's one door that works, especially this late at night. Yeah. And so it's a set of doors, and there's a sign on the other set of doors that says, please use other doors. So I'm standing there, and I'm thinking that it's like a buzz-in situation, and I pull on the right side door, and the guy's just deadpan staring at me. And so I pull on it again, and he just looks at me and he just goes. So I open the left door, and trying to make light of it, I'm like, man, I just looked like a fucking idiot walking into this place, huh? And he just did not say a fucking word and just stared at me.
Can I get your ID?
And then he just goes, ID? Dude, I tried everything I could to lighten the situation of me, just basically make myself feel better for looking like a fucking idiot because I couldn't figure out how doors worked. Yeah. And this guy did not give me anything. I didn't even get like the tiniest chuckle, like, hey, he knows he's stupid. Yeah. It was just like.
At least he knows it. Yeah, he didn't even give you that.
Fuck, dude.
It's LA hospitality, dude.
Okay. Last thing is the new segment that you haven't been a part of yet, but it's Are You the Worst? And now I'm going to ask you a series of questions, and you can elaborate or not, but it's just we're going to tally up the score at the end and find out if you're the worst.
Okay.
Have you ever stolen from your parents?
I think my dad stole enough from me. I didn't have anything.
Fuck, dude. Have you, I know you kind of have a significant other right now, don't you? Kind of, yeah. Have you ever lied to her?
Oddly enough, no. I've been pretty honest with that girl. That's the psychedelics, dude. You eat enough psychedelics and you kind of like.
I lied to my wife for the first 6 years we were married. But
Damn.
we got past that. But hey, see, the thing is it came back to bite me in the ass really hard.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, that's why I haven't.
Yeah,
done
so don't do it.
Yeah.
Have you ever been a bully?
Yeah.
Okay,
For sure.
At least we have one fucking score.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, make me feel so bad about myself. Have you ever cheated on someone?
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, that's what your 20s are for, right? Like.
Yeah, just you're just a dick with legs.
Mm-hmm.
And have you ever been a bad friend?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. To the point where like I've actually gone back and like had
to like talk to somebody like, hey
yeah.
man.
People think you're in like the 12-step program, but like
yeah, it's like
yeah.
you're not like repentant, like, hey, like I used to have a drink. No, it's just like, hey man,
I saw
so
God.
I
ate mushrooms and I saw
really
God.
I just really enjoy Netflix, and your problems didn't really seem that much of like a problem to me. And all right, so Reagan, you're not the worst, because you've only fucking really, I mean, you've done something that everyone else has done, and I mean, fuck, man. You're actually a decent person, and you're moving to Ohio, so I have one less friend, and I won't call you on the phone because I don't do that. So basically, after tonight, you're dead to me. Anyway, thanks for coming, buddy.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you. It's good to be here again with Cocktail Hagrid.
How long we've been holding on to that one. All right, thank you for watching.